Hello all. Today we are going to see about the topic cluster analysis. Cluster means a grouping of data items which possess similar characteristics. There are four parts in cluster analysis. First one is partitioning method, second one is hierarchical method, third one is density based method, and fourth one is grid based method. The two main similarities which we need to find in cluster analysis is first one is high intra-class similarity, where cohesive within clusters, low interclass similarity, which is dissimilar between clusters. This means that inside the data points inside the cluster must possess similar characteristics, where there must not be a situation to rearrange the cluster. That means this cohesive within clusters. Dissimilarity between clusters is for considerably cluster A and cluster B is there. While checking or forming the clusters, cluster A should contain its own characteristics and cluster B should possess its own characteristics, so that I need not rearrange those two clusters again. And the consideration for cluster analysis, the main important point while doing analysis part in the cluster is partitioning criteria, separation of clusters, similarity measure, and clustering space. There are many important requirements in challenges are there in cluster analysis. For the main important point is scalability. Why scalability becomes an important point in cluster analysis is it should be like more of a flexible thing in the sense there will be a vast space and many data points will roam around in that space. I need to find a mean point or a seed point, seed data point, and using that seed point I will cluster or group the data into group the data. Okay. While after clustering, to do the clustering, if the data points must possess flexibility thing, like if the cluster is possessing the characteristics which belonging to A class and also the B cluster, but the proper percentage is higher for the B cluster, means if it is flexible only I can change it to the next cluster. So that will be the main important thing. And partitioning method, there are two types, k-means and k-medoids. K-means will contain what is the process in the sense. Basically it will partition the objects into k non-empty subsets. K means like k is the number of clusters. Like here I have mentioned, like in a database D which contains n objects, it will be clustered into k number of clusters. And then I need to find the mean point, which is also called as seed point, and I need to cluster the data sets, and I need to assign each object to the cluster, like to the nearest seed point, in the sense if the mean point is here means and the data point is here means this data point will come under this seed point and it will form a cluster. But here if the data point is here and the seed point is here means I cannot form the cluster since due to its distance. And the computational notation for partitioning method is O of TKN, where n is number of objects, k is clusters, and t is iteration. Thank you.